hey, can you help me put this table together? Hey, can you help me figure out the Wi-Fi? Hey, can you, whatever people around you naturally ask you for help on tend to be the things that you are better than most people at. And if you lean into those things because you probably already do them naturally, then those things can compound and then eventually be skills that you can charge for. And that was actually how the first dollar I ever made happened. Was a lady at the gym asked me if I could help her with nutrition, and I said sure, and she said meet me for lunch and you can show me what to get. And I was like sure, whatever. After lunch was over and I told her everything she should eat, she just like wrote me a check and handed me $200. And I remember being like, thanks. And then I was like, I wonder if anyone else would hand me a check for helping them with their food. And that's how I got into fitness.
That's how simple it actually starts. Not with a big business, not with thousands of dollars. Just one small moment where someone is willing to pay you for something you already know. And most people miss that. They're chasing big money, but they have never made their first dollar. That's where everything changes. Because once you make that first dollar, it's no longer theory. It's real. You don't need $60,000. You don't need a big audience. You don't need to go viral. You need your first dollar. Because that's where everything changes. Most people fail before they even start. Not because they are incapable, but because they overcomplicate everything. They watch too many videos, learn too many strategies, and still do nothing. That was me. I kept thinking I needed the perfect idea, the perfect plan, the perfect moment. But none of that matters. What matters is starting simple. So let me tell you exactly how I made my first dollar online. I didn't have skills. I didn't have connections. I didn't have money. What I had was access to the internet and time. So I chose one thing, content. Not because it was easy, but because it was available. I started posting bad videos, low videos, no engagement. Nothing worked at first, and this is where most people quit. But I didn't stop. I kept posting. I kept learning. I kept adjusting. And then, one video, boom, did slightly better. Not viral, not crazy, just better. And that small result was everything, because it proved something to me. It works. From there, I stayed consistent. I improved my editing. I improved my ideas. I paid attention to what worked and what didn't. And eventually, that turned into my first dollar. Not a lot, not life-changing, but it changed my mindset. I still remember that moment. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. Just me, staring at small amount of money on a screen. And to anyone else, it would look like nothing. But to me, it meant everything. Because for the first time, I realized something. This is real, not theory. Not watching other people win. Me. I created this. And in that moment, something changed. Not my bank account, but my identity. Because it was never about the $1. That dollar means nothing. What matters is who you become in the process of earning it. Because that first dollar forces you to change. It forces you to think differently, to act differently, to stop being the person who just watches and become the person who builds. That's why it matters. Not because of the money, but because of the person it creates. Because once you become someone who can make $1, you are no longer the same person. And from that point on, there is no going back. That's the step most people skip. They want thousands, but they have never made one. So if you are starting right now, don't focus on money. Focus on proof. Pick one path. Stay consistent. Learn as you go and don't quit just because it's slow. Because slow is how it starts for everyone. And this is just the beginning. In the next videos, I'm going to break this down step by step so you can actually follow the same process. So if you are serious about changing your life, stay close. Because this isn't motivation. This is execution. And if you are serious about leveling up your life, don't just watch this and move on. Show it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment this. We are Fearless Movement, because this isn't just content anymore. It's a standard. And from this point on, we don't talk, we build. We are Fearless Movement.